Hi friends, let's take a look at the charts together. Now there's a bit of mess on here. I'm just going to remove that as I introduce the show. So my name is Rocky Outcrop. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. We do technical analysis Monday to Friday on the channel. And if you want to, you can join the Discord where there is also a live chat on audio through a voice, they call it, on Discord, where you can take part in that and talk to other members of the community and of course myself and get feedback on your trading and everything else. It's a good way to start the week. Where are we here? What have we done? We had this fallen wedge on the link prices and we've managed to come up here and test the top end of that and perhaps, looking towards whether or not we can get our breakout. Now I did say in the past as well that we have to look towards this next area of the extensions of our pitchfork that we had on the go, which is obviously pointing up the way at the minute. It's not going to go down the way. What have I done with that pitchfork? Did I rearrange it last week or something? Let me know in the comments down below if you can remember what I did with this thing. I'll probably remember myself at some point. Anyway, just going to get rid of that. We had a pitchfork on the charts and this is two extensions that we had off the back of this pitchfork. And what's happened so far is we've come up towards the very edge of this. So we're looking at coming back into where the pitchfork was. I'll put it back on the chart some other time when I'm not making an episode, I suppose. And we're asking questions about it. If we get beyond these zones at the 100k area, so we've spoken about this 100k area so often, then we can look up towards these highs up at 130. That would be quite a nice move up the way, maybe even up as high as the 786 at 143k. But if we fail to do so, then what we've got on the go is just a parallel channel with a failure of the, or a descending broadening wedge perhaps even as well, depending on what sort of rules you're using to draw this thing in. But you're looking at this as being, a downward sort of pattern really, either or. If we do get rejected from that, and lows could come back in there again at a sort of 68k. Looking down the way, you've got three targets that I would really look to. First off would be 90k, 85k, and then 77k. But let's just move off of the Bitcoin pairing and go over to the dollar pairing, where you can see I'll just get rid of my 2k subscribers in September. This was a logo thing that I'd drawn out to just kind of give people something to talk about. This is really weird. Why is it stretching all the way down there? I never drew it down to the minus numbers. Something up with my chart at the minute. Really, really weird. Oh, log. That's why. Oh, that's why nothing's fitting. Oh, that's what went on. Oh, I didn't realize. Anyway, you can see quite clearly. What if I go back the way? Will it get my pitchfork on properly? It's a little experiment for us. Come on, give me that pitchfork. Give me that pitchfork. Off log. There we go. Excellent. Nice one. So there we have it. And that's the chat. Of course, in terms of the pitchfork target, it's 112k. Then, of course, 127k and 141k. But so I had this logo on the go here. 2k in September. Can we get it? Well, it looks like we're not going to. Let me just remove some of these brushes. And those trend lines, I guess, as well. Actually, I didn't really mean to, but whatever. Are we going to get a measured move off the back of this wedge, or is it going to turn into a parallel channel? Essentially, that's what we were looking at before. If I just clone this one here and move it up towards the top side, you can see it kind of fitting in quite nicely. So failure to go on beyond this and carry out the sort of measured move of this thing, then of course just means that we've got targets down below. Three targets being $9.20, $7.70, and then $5.78 thereafter. I suppose you could look to, and that be pushing past the 618 golden pocket retrace zone again, and perhaps you're looking down to the 786 here at that point at $5.43. But I'd rather be positive about this thing and say that if we're able to take out the point of control in terms of this price action just now, since the swing, we took out you can see as it flicks around here in terms of the support that we could have had, and what could have happened. Moving in a bit here, it'll jump up a bit. And you can see then, if we go to position it so that price action of this high here, where we had the last low before the run up in terms of the last sort of low, high end of upward trend, put that on the chart, then we've taken that out so far. And we're looking up towards whether or not we take out this next area here in this movement, post this from the low to the high of this thing before we move towards the downside, where you would kind of end up with perhaps the pitchfork if you were to draw one in like that as well, in terms of just talking about confluence between these things. Of course, that is a regular one, but no, that's rubbish. Anyway, I don't care about that. That was rubbish. And I want to get rid of this stupid logo off the charts. because it doesn't look like we're going to make it to 2K in September. So that's what we're asking about, the questions of if we do move outside of this zone. Of course, we've got the measured move we've spoken about in the past. You can watch the previous videos for all that chat. We're looking up towards $13 really as being a key area for us. We've now made it up towards this 50% area. And if you've watched along with the channel, then you know about the interrelation between different fib areas and how all that stacks together, and therefore you know already that we've come up above this area, which is the 236 in there at 1034. Obviously, this speaks for itself. If you're a subscriber to the channel, which you really should be, hit that button. There's always good value here. You know that movement between this zone and this zone means that we've also come past the 236 over here, and that means that we opened up different targets, perhaps 1220, 370 and 1550 as our sort of three targets towards the top side, just looking at a retrace against this. If we were to continue going on down the way thereafter, this would be quite high, of course, but we're still not taking out this previous high over here, and that's really what we want to see happen, to be able to sort of get more positive on this thing again and go up into these zones of a lack of liquidity and the blue skies up above. Okay, that's going to do in terms of that pairing. Let's just have a quick look at this chart and see if there's anything else you need to know. Well, we spoke about this quite a bit. Obviously, now we can see the play out from that. So, obviously, we're the best technical analysis show on the internet. So if you were to go for a 60% type move, as the textbooks would suggest, and we've done that already, if you were to go for the full thing, we could be looking up towards that $12 area where the 786 is. We've actually come in here and hit the golden pocket, having come down here from our lows. This is where it's drawn in from that previous swing area at $13.25 on the way down. What did I say there just a minute ago in terms of taking this out? Well, yeah, you want to take out the $13 area. If from this high down to this low, we've done the 618 perfectly, so there's plenty of people taking profit in that zone, as you can tell. And if we go down towards the small time frames, you can see that there's a different couple of concepts. You've got an Adam and Eve type thing quite easily to be identified here. There's your Adam, there's your Eve. That's actually more of an Adam and Adam, perhaps. Actually, no, this is looking like it's going to be an Eve. So an Adam and Eve is probably going to be with a neckline in and around this zone. I'll just leave this crap drawing on here for now, and we can check in with this again over the next day or two. Measured moves off the back of this thing do take you down a fair whack, of course, but not back into this parallel channel or the symmetrical or this wedge, but does take you down past the 382, and you'd then be looking at having perhaps a Fibonacci sort of type targets. Now, I'm not Mr. Fibonacci, I talk about this all the time. This is just gives context for the YouTube channel for people to understand that you could be looking down here to retest this area of $9 to $8.90 as a sort of finding your foot before going up again. And what would that constitute? Well, this would be your low. At that point, this would be your local high. This would be your high or low, and then you'd be back looking at this area again and saying, can we take that out and move towards the top side, right? And that would be how this would all work together. Looking at Ethereum, sort of Link versus Ethereum. We did everything obviously we were talking about there before, as you can see with these drawings on the go here, and we've gone past that area. You can see how key that was as well with the way that these candles then operated thereafter, going from the 0.026 all the way up to 0.02 8 to 9, and in fact actually wicking all the way up to 0.03, giving you, in terms of if you traded it just off the back of movements past that area up to its highs, 15%, where you could have caught, you could have taken profit had you then held on to that instead and just moved from that area to where it came up to. Ultimately you're looking at 20%, and where the prices are right now, you're more than 10% in profit. So that's obviously another good reason to subscribe to this channel. Where are we now? Same chat with the Adam and Eve thing, and of course the failure to take out our previous high along the way there. If you want to be sort of mean about local highs and lows, this could just end up being flux. This has managed to avoid having bearish divergence by the virtue of the fact this is a lower high than this one over here, but that's obviously a failure of sorts. And if this then manages to find its feet here but doesn't take out its previous high, then what are you going to end up having? Well, you're obviously going to end up having a sort of symmetrical triangle type thing. So we'll have to wait and see how this evolves. I'm going to leave this on the charts, but I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. It's very much premature, but this could be what we're looking at. And then of course this will take you from one area to the next, in terms of your movements. If you did get a movement, this of course obviously adds up to being the same as the Adam and Eve type chat. You can see this is drawn in the same measured move, right? You can see how that works, okay? Then you'd be going down towards that 0.025 area, and of course if we take out the heads of our Adam and Eves, by breaking outside the symmetrical triangle, it take up to that 0.033 area, looking at yet more 10% moves towards the top side upside and very, very good trading, tying in with the point of control and the nodes on the VPVR. So really what you're looking at there is some great technical analysis. So I hope you actually, appreciate this. Hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. What we have just now, by the way, is a tapering off of the trend here in the DMI. This moving down below 25 and into the sort of the orange zone. I've updated the code for this. If you want access to it, you can get it in the Discord. And we're asking questions soon, about whether or not this will be turn into chop or reinvigorate the trend or whatever. You can make your own assessments off the back of that. I've talked enough about all these indicators for you to be able to make assessments of them, of course, as well. We also know quite clearly, looking at this, that there's a swing failure point here at the neutral line, quite obviously. So we've talked about all these things in the past. You already know about them. What else is there to mention? Well, I'll tell you what else there is to mention. There is, of course, the fact that every Monday we do a live chat in the Discord where you get to talk about your trading. It sets you up really well for the week. I highly recommend people take part in that. There is also a Bitcoin giveaway to talk about, where if you mention Rocky You Rock in the comments down below, this and any of the videos I put out during September, then every one of them is an entry into that raffle, and you might get selected and win 10 Satoshis for every view the channel gets this month. And what else is there? That's it. That's going to do. I'd like it if you hit the subscribe button. It keeps me going. Hit that. Keep up the good work. All that good jazz. I'll catch you in the next episode.